My God, bucket.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps. The embrace of an old friend, a weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Now the question is do I take the left door now, or
Stanley
do I
clutched
go
the bucket tightly to his chest and
to the
entered
right door,
on his
go
left.
all the way back to the bucket destroyer, and throw the bucket in the bucket destroyer just to see what happens? That's science.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
I believe this might be the last part on the right side
good, Stanley.
for me to do with the
I'm glad
bucket.
you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're
Where's the
carrying
skip button?
around everywhere. The
I thought that was supposed to be a
isn't
skip
even
button.
from the original Stanley Parable.
The head.
It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Okay. A bucket is friend. Why do I have to throw a bucket in bucket destroyer? Poor bucket, please forgive me for what I must do.
Don't you get it, Stanley?
Watch it not let me
We
throw
need to get rid
bucket
of the
in the bucket destroyer.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
Hurry up!
Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket.
Goodbye,
And then
bucket!
pop it into the machine.
I love you, bucket! I love you! Goodbye!
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket.
It won't let me put the
Destroying
bucket in!
buckets is all it knows. That is its
Are you
singular
kidding me?
personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved
Bucket,
Stanley
go!
Parable characters? Well, you see, if
Go,
you were
Bucket!
to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely
You won't
loaded
let me
with
throw it
complexity
in.
and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about?
First
The
time
Broom Closet?
chatter,
Certainly
Bucket
not.
Delirious.
I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have
Bucket!
to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters
Bucket,
like
go
the
in!
Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer
Go in,
until you
Bucket!
crush that damn bucket. Quickly now.
I'm
the
trying.
fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry
Insert Halo theme.
The bucket destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Magnificent. Every time I tried to throw the bucket in, he held onto my hand. He would not let me throw him in. Okay.
Stanley had never seen the office this
So we're done
brightly
with the
lit.
right side,
Was
I
it a sign of
believe.
something? He hoped it was. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, so, is there anything else that we need to do with bucket? We still got to find like 1 or 2 more of these things. Broom cost.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
We didn't. Me and Bucket found another
You're
one!
getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
I don't like that name for the figurines.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that.
Bucket.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Maybe I am crazy,
He looked
Bucket.
down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket.
Bucket, am I
The
crazy?
bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone
What?
else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong.
Whose
Surely
bucket?
no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of
Where's my
bizarre
bucket?
hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
Where's my bucket?
Now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself
The
floating
bucket
off
is
the room.
alive?
Oh, gracious. He
Oh,
exclaimed.
I'm alive.
Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Bucket,
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
where are you?
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the
which
next.
one's my
None
bucket?
of them were his. None of
one's
them
my
were his
bucket?
special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley.
Bucket, where are
Find
you?
me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend.
Bucket!
It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
Bucket!
It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Bucket.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
She's got a bucket!
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter.
Mariella,
But of
Parabella.
course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would
Terrible.
soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
She backflipped? She backflipped all the way to work. She stole my bucket. That damn hooch stole my bucket.
All
Heck.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Give me a
Not
bucket.
everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay. Bucket, is there anything else? We're missing one O. Red and blue. I had no idea this is where the... Is this some kind of game? There must be a point to this. Collect them all. Okay. Somewhere, maybe near the boss's office? I bet you the boss's office
Coming
has
to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I mean, no, there was one there. What if I try to go up? This is a big troll. Yeah, hey. Stanley. Yeah. It's Stanley. Whatever.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all
By
along?
sheer luck.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
My name is Bucket, and I'm here to say... Bucket. Bucket. Bucket is my friend. Bucket never ends.
Stanley and the
Bucket,
bucket walked straight
bucket.
ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
And did he? Did he, Bucket? Bucket, you'll never leave me,
Lights
right?
rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Bucket, listen. We're not gonna let this place destroy us. Not our friendship, Bucket.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Like,
The bucket had
I'm
never
having a
seen
hard time
anything like
figuring
this,
out.
and it very nearly burst into
What's that?
tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
I'm having a harder time figuring out, where the last collectible is. Mr. Bucket, do you know where the last collectible could be?
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
Bucket.
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Bucket, do you have any idea?
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Bucket, you're the only one I trust. The only one I love.
Proof. The heart of the operation.
Okay, how do we get past this
labeled
door?
with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working,
control status
all of it
offline.
monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Bucket, how do we... Bucket. Bucket. Is there no way to get up to the number 4? I'm confused, Bucket. Maybe I can't do this with Bucket. Oh, maybe this door is locked when you have Bucket. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. What is this? Console disabled. What's this? Yeah, I feel like I can't get up there and do that right now. What? What does those do? Those don't do anything. But they make sounds. I am so confused. So, I'm thinking that I did everything that I could possibly do with Bucket. One, two, three's over here, but four's up there. But I can't get up there because the door is shut right here. I'm thinking... you can't do this area without having... red and blue room. So, I'm thinking that I can't do that one without I gotta do that normally. Maybe there's not like a bucket version for whatever happens with those numbers. But we still need to find a collectible. The collectible is in a red and blue room, which I have no idea where a collectible could be. We've already pressed both of these on and off.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Confused! So instead of going through all this again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin the game again. Boom.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Now, I can take the bucket. Is there anything that I haven't did with the bucket yet? Because I feel like I did everything that you could possibly do with the bucket. That being said, there's two last things to do in this game. Well, three things to do in this
Stanley came
game.
to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
3 things to do in this game that haven't done is fall in the hole without the bucket, and do the two ending buttons without the bucket, and then somewhere both red and blue. Whatever that is.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So the office should be different. I mean, this is red and blue, like red room, blue room. There was one in there.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Ah. I put it down the hole!
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
And troll of trolls. I sure miss Bucket. I sure do miss Bucket. I went downstairs with Bucket and without Bucket.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh, yes.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley
there's
was
still a
making
lot to do
conscious,
that I haven't
concerted
done
effort
yet.
to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I gotta finish this before 7 p.m. That's in like, not long.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise,
No!
he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end
I
to
accept.
his brief and shallow life.
I accept.
Farewell, Stanley.
Oh, this would suck. Oh.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
I don't
In a single
understand.
visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Why did the narrator change right there? The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When
This
every
is different.
path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
That is a sad truth. Credits. Oh, the credits to all the people who made the game in 2013. That's pretty cool. Or 1, 2, 3. The office clock. The boss's office. mind control facility, the lounge, the underground.
For the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of
Whoa.
good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you.
Okay. Thank you, narrator. Thank you. I walk this lonely path, the loneliest I've ever known. Without my bucket in my hand, I walk alone. My bucket was the only friend that walked beside me. My bucket was the only friend that I would fuck it. What the hell are you talking about, Delirious? What is wrong with you? It's just a bucket! Beautiful, beautiful art. Beautiful, 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 beautiful art. Beautiful, the office, blah, 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 blah. Yo! Office 42, 427. 427, 2011. Dear narrator. Dear narrator, will you stay on the payroll have infinite quests? How many endings? Blah, blah, blah. Cameron, how dare you, Cameron, narrator in emails? Dare you, Cameron? What happens? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, whatever. We're getting the hell out of here. We're losing time in this place. If anybody have any suggestions what I should try next, let me know. In your thoughts.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Who? Who the hell is she talking about?
Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
I can try!
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
And we're dead. What window? Someone said jump out of a window. The fuck are you talking about?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't know what else to try. Right here, somewhere both red and blue. Where the hell is both red and blue? I've went downstairs before without the damn bucket.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh,
What?
hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
Okay. What the fuck? That's so good. That's so good. Oh. The amount of times I've did that and he's never
Stanley
did
walked
that.
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Freedom? Freedom.
This mind control facility.
The fact that I gotta
it was
run
too
down
horrible
this
to
entire
believe it couldn't
area
be true.
like
Had
2 more
Stanley really been
times
under
is
someone's
ridiculous.
Control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled
Door's
with
still
emotions.
closed. How do I get up
Happy
there?
Or sad.
For anybody
or
who's played
content.
this game,
Walking,
how do I get to
eating,
number 4?
working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yes. Yes. I will dismantle all the controls once and for all. Alright, listen, chat, and for those who is watching on YouTube, I am streaming right now. Chat, those of you giving suggestions when you weren't here before, we've been playing this game for a long time today already. To Bragger, about to smack the shit out of you for saying there's a staircase going up to number 4. Alright? There's a fucking door right in front of the damn staircase. Alright? Okay. Okay. Chill the fuck up, man. Chill the fuck up. You chill the fuck up. Alright? To the person who says go through the right door, I've already went through the right door. In the very beginning, when you had to go left or right, I went to the right door. To the person who says go down. Go down when before the bosses are. I've already went down there. I already know everything that's down there. I know what's down there. With the bucket and without the bucket. Because I've already did it. I need to know how to get up there to the number 4 button because I just hit 1, 2, and 3. Number 4 is up there, but there's a door blocking the staircase. And then number 5 button is right here. But then, I've never did this before. Without the bucket, I have never pressed these 2 buttons. Now, this is part of the real game, the original game.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
turned it off.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Oh, yeah!
Was it over?
Is it over?
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps
What?
the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
I can actually leave? It wouldn't let me take bucket.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I'm happy. Beat the game, achievement unlocked. We did it. We beat the game. We beat it. But there's still a couple of things that I still
Wait,
need to miss.
Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Okay, so... Alright. I could go all the way back one last time, but I'm not going to do that right this second. So where is the door... Someone said
When
jump out of a
Stanley
window
came to
at.
a set of two open doors, he entered the door on
Also,
his left.
where's the door that the narrator wouldn't let me go through?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
I don't remember where these places were. I don't.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I don't remember.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh, wait a minute. I haven't been down here without the bucket. Catwalk? What happened on the catwalk? What happened on the catwalk? I don't remember. I don't remember.
Look, Stanley,
We
I
haven't been
think
down
we've
there
gotten off on the wrong
without the
foot
bucket.
here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
But I believe I've been here before when I played this without the bucket. Oh, yes!
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Oh,
Stanley walked
oh my
through
God,
the red
we
door,
did it!
And there it is. The last
We
Stiggly
did it!
Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, Instead, I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
We did it! We've accomplished greatness! I wonder what happens if I go to that room. So last time I was here, I kept going through the blue door, until they made me go to the red door, so let's just go through the red door.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Ah, you opened the door. Thank you, narrator. Thank you.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Heck,
Here. Yes.
What in the hell?
It's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
This is giving me another damn choice of what to do. Either I stand here or go down there, and then I'll have to come all the way back and do the opposite. Oh, it's so beautiful, though. The blue light. The blue light is so magical. So magical and beautiful. Press the like button on this video. Subscribe to my channel. Is that an eyeball? Is that God? Or is that a butthole? What is that? Whoa! Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Alright. Enough chilling, you know what I'm saying?
No, wait. Where are you going?
You were too happy. You're too happy. Who was that?
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Wait a minute,
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Oh,
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I don't want to do it. This is me. This is not me. I want to see Bucket again.
No! Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Is it because you took Bucket from me?
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
No. No.
My God.
Oh, God.
Is this really how much you dislike my game?
It hurts.
That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You're
Yes.
literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
No.
Am I reading the situation
This is your
correctly?
fault. This is your fault, not mine. Oh, how many
Maybe
here?
you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along.
It hurts.
I guess that was too much to ask.
It hurts.
It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all.
I'm like
Well, this one is
crawling
yours.
up the stairs. I just want to end it. I want to end my suffering.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
That was messed up. That was such a messed up part. Okay. So. Apparently I could jump out of a window somewhere. Where can I jump out a window at? Where can the Delirious jump out of a window? What the hell? Okay.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one.
What?
Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Memory
I would love
zone?
nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Oh, yes, the memory zone. Oh. Oh, this is different down here.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Do I get this one? A 7 collectible? Madness! Craziness! Doesn't even make sense.
And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them.
Wow.
Let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
So I guess we're going to go through all of the ones I found. The warehouse to the right, the boss's office to the
let's
left.
do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
It has to be the warehouse. Yeah. It had to have been the warehouse. Or not.
No. The warehouse was the 4th place you found a Figanley, not the 3rd.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If the warehouse feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
The hell was that? Yeah, these are my memories. I can put my memories in any order because they're mine. They're not yours. If I remembered them incorrectly, it's because I wanted to put them in that order.
Let's see. What came next?
The hell is this? What is this
Oh,
room?
yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room.
No?
But it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
This is not a room I have ever been in my life. I've never seen a giant apple. Never seen a giant apple in my life. Hell.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was under the stairs. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
What? Wow. Yeah. Woo. Found it under the stairs. This is like really old YouTube video.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
He used the hapage, the dazzle. He used the dazzle from back then to record his gameplay footage.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other, except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Now what? Ah. Okay. Now what happens? I'm in the present? Oh.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
What? No!
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on.
What?
Stop the loading screen.
What?
Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines?
What?
Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
What is it? Okay. Alright. We go to the blue door this time.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this.
Uh-huh.
I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my
Why in the
mind.
world
Let's
do I
keep
have to
going.
do
I've
this
got more.
again?
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember
Don't
the
show
video
me.
we watched?
Do not show me the damn video. No!
Yes, I love that video.
Oh my god, this game. This game.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley.
No, I
Still no
don't.
memory of this one.
No
Good
memory.
Room, though. A solid room.
No memory at all of the pink room. Oh.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Whew. This is ridiculous. Do I go to a boss's office? Or go over here? There's actually nothing over here. We didn't find one in the boss's office. And now the
This
bathroom.
is our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Collect them all. Can you find them? Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, that's right. Oh, the ultimate Figley. Where the hell am I? Why is this place so empty? Oh, the jumping room.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory.
We're going
this
down
one.
memory lane. Oh, the office.
And before everything else, there was your office.
I remember the office just like
Is there anything
yesterday.
else? Was there something that came before your office?
No.
There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
What? Yeah. What became? Were we in?
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But
I'm a fiction?
Joseph's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
No!
I did enjoy telling his story so very much.
Don't delete
Okay,
Stanley.
here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
This game is just, it melted my brain. The entire game has melted my damn brain. Alright.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Raining. So apparently, I'm able to jump out of a window somewhere? This window? This is 434's desk. What? Like this? Like I'm supposed to like glitch it or something? What?
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Are you sick of this gag? No, I'm not sick. No.
Then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option?
It would be, and
Clearly, this whole gag takes some time.
damn it to hell.
What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend
I
in
don't have that
total
much
just to
time.
have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected Continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
I really can't leave. What the hell?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
That is
Perhaps
crazy
he had
that they
simply
did
missed a
that.
memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-worker. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration
That's so
and realized
crazy
it
that
was
they did
part
that.
of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
Come on! Come on!
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want.
Yes.
Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Oh, no.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton.
Wow.
He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Beautiful. Truly beautiful. Truly beautiful. Now, we gotta see what happens when you bring Bucket outside the window.
Was I sitting there?
Wait a minute.
Stanley wondered to himself.
Can't.
Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful.
We can't
with
bring
time
Bucket
from
out there.
now on.
Unless the doors stay open.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
Bucket. Bucket, I got something to show you, Bucket. Bucket, look.
Yes,
Whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
we've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that
We did
pesky
it!
narrator. At last,
Did it, Bucket?
out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
What?
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
What?
No,
Said the bucket.
Oh, no.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of...
No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
No! Bucket!
My God, Stanley! You
Bucket!
did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew
Bucket!
the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power
No!
and speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Bucket died! Bucket died! Oh, that was literally the last thing that
All
I
of his
could do
co-workers
with
were
Bucket.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting
Bucket,
room.
I'm
Perhaps
sorry.
he had simply missed
I'm
a
so
memo.
sorry. I'm sorry, Bucket. Oh. Okay. So,
When Stanley came to a set of two
there's
open
one last
doors.
thing
This
I gotta
was not
do.
the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it
well,
perfectly.
two
well.
last things I gotta
Perhaps
do.
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So, Bucket is ancient.
Stanley was so
Bucket
bad at
came
following
before
directions,
people.
It's incredible he
And
wasn't
Bucket
fired years ago.
was created by a dark wizard, and throughout history, humans was like they thought of Bucket as an entity that they needed. So they went to war and they fought each other. So many people died over the years because of Bucket.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office.
Okay.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
It is not my fault. You can't blame me. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, I got one last question. What the hell? I think that was me. But I was gonna say I got one last question. When the yellow line was going through, how did that happen? What made the yellow line go through? Because I haven't followed the yellow line with the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. All right. Reboot
Yet
the
there was not a single
game
person
entirely.
here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. All right.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
All right. So other than that, I think there's one last thing for me to do that I've never done before. There's nothing in here, but I did only stand in it with. No, I stood in it with and without bucket. I think this is just a troll elevator. It doesn't do anything.
Here's the door, just go.
He's given up. Narrator has given up.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Do I have the strength to keep going?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire
Y'all know
life
how to get the
utterly
4 button?
blind to the world?
Go ahead and tell me, because otherwise I'm done playing.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
It's so crazy. There's a 4th button right there. I can't get it. Hey, what the hell? But Bragger, you said that before. I'm about to smack the shit out of you and your mama. Do you see this staircase right here? I'm gonna wait, Braggart, until you say that you see this. Is he? I mean, there's no damn staircase, you damn lying scums. Lying. You can't turn on the button. Or can you? Can you? No, I think as soon as I turn on that button, these doors shut. Braggart! You son of a bitch! Whatever. Mind controls idle. Alright, so the last thing I need to do is I need to press on, but I'm going to also...
At last he found the source of the room's power. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
I don't know what happened.
They kept you enslaved all these years
I don't know what
ago
happened.
and you tried to take control of the machine for yourself? Is
I
that
don't
what you wanted?
actually know what happened.
Control? Oh, Stanley.
Loading mind control
I
system.
applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
Yeah.
I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power
Well, that
you
makes
think you
sense.
do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Oh.
In the event that this machine is
We're gonna blow up?
activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode,
What?
eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Okay.
It's
The door's
your
open
time
now.
to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Run.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are. A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely
Now what do I
in this
do?
instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Oh,
Other
no.
times,
Oh,
I
my
let the
God.
office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a
Press
crisp.
any key.
I have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing.
Any key to
Watching
send
me
power
try to make
surge.
sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost
Oh!
hate to see it go.
Oh!
But I'm
Oh my
sure
God.
whatever I come up with on the
my
next
God.
go around will be even better. My goodness, only
my
34
God.
seconds left. But I'm
supposed to
enjoying
press
this
what it
so
says on the
much.
screen.
You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock.
Right.
Why not?
No.
These are
Oh my.
precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on
I don't know what to do.
Oh dear me, what's the matter,
The
Stanley?
fucking blue screen.
it that
This is
you
the
have
only
no
blue
idea
screen.
where
Quit
you're
saying
going
blue
or what you're
screen.
supposed to be
What do
doing
I
right now?
do?
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this
You have
door.
one attempt remaining.
Everything, anything, something here will save me.
I don't know what that
Why
means.
would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any
pressed 4
idea
buttons,
what your
4
purpose
yellows.
in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still
I don't
playing
know.
instead
I
of
don't
watching
fucking
a
know what to
cutscene
do.
because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left
my
to
God.
struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling
says a house?
desperately to your frail life?
I don't
or will you let it go
understand.
peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all
We're
the
gonna
same.
die.
All a part of the joke. And believe me,
We're
I
gonna
will be laughing
die.
at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say,
We're gonna
"Mariella."
die. Are you serious?
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
So that is literally the last thing for me to do in this game, I
When
believe.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So yes, go ahead and tell me what I'm supposed to do. That way,
Yet there was not a single person here either.
I can go ahead and get this
Feeling
over
a
with.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Man, this is taking me far longer than I thought it was going to take me.
lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What
Braggart,
horrible
tell me
secret
what
did this
I'm supposed to
place
do, Braggart,
hold?
because I have
Stanley
to
thought
leave.
himself. Did he have the
I have to quit
strength
streaming.
to find out?
Buttons in the room don't actually do anything. You explode regardless.
Now,
Why
the
didn't you
monsters
say that
jumped to
sooner,
life,
Braggart?
Their true nature revealed.
What the hell?
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a...
If they don't actually do anything, then there is one last thing for me to do.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Who's watching me?
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate.
Alright. Well, there you go. Whoever told me to bring bucket to the beginning, there you go. I did. Alright. You said it so many times. I thought maybe you were onto something. Now, for everybody saying that I need to reboot the game,
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
it says reboot the game
Still
entirely.
no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find...
So if I quit game right here, do I quit to desktop or do I begin the game again?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Skip.
Stanley worked...
The proper ending was me leaving.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What's an escape
When
pod
Stanley
ending?
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Suicidal, what's an escape pod ending? Alright, it says boot entirely. Okay. Quit the desktop. Alright. Open game. There's an ending where you walk out of the boss's office before the doors close. What doors? Wait a minute, it's not opening the game now. Chat, there's a chance that I can't finish anything else. I might have to just run upstairs because I hear the baby crying. Game's also not opening for some reason. Alright. Crows, crows, crows. So, I don't care what time it is. Confirm. Wait, what are you doing? The first time you booted up the game, you set the time. What? That was fantastic. You did a great job with that one. But this time you simply entered. How does it know? Oh, come on. What? I had to say I'm a little disappointed. Perhaps you don't think that it's worth taking the time to set the clock correctly. Do you think I would ask you to set the clock if it weren't an integral part of the gameplay experience? There's no way. There is no way. Oh my god. Next time you boot up the game and see the screen, do me a favor and actually set the time. There's no way that they knew. Remember that. That's crazy. Okay. Alright.
All of his co-workers
I got an
were gone.
achievement.
What
Says
could it
welcome
mean?
back.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so apparently there's like 2 things I
When
can
Stanley
do.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
First thing is, like, why has this been reset?
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Oh, it's not there
Feeling
anymore.
a wave of disbelief,
I'll
Stanley
reset
decided
it for
to go
nothing,
up
chat.
to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Broom closet ending? What, this?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
What's the broom closet ending?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
What?
No reason to still be here.
What the hell?
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Mine!
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with
Is this
your
a
friends,
troll?
you'll
Because
say,
I had to leave.
"Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Wow!
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Is that it? What now? We'll leave? Hello? Whatever. All right.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board.
What?
I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
All right. Boss's office. So, when did these doors shut?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret.
I was supposed to
pin
go
number,
back in the closet.
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known
Braggart!
this.
What were you talking about here? You said come in here and then leave the room before the door is shut.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs, trying to input anything on. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Braggart, tell me, why are you so
When
slow
Stanley
at
came to
talking?
a set of
You
two open
scum!
doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
This door?
Stepping into his
Oh,
manager's
son of a
office,
bitch! Is that what I'm supposed to do? Like,
all of
those,
his
that,
co-workers were gone.
which set of doors?
What could it mean?
The door in the hallway?
Stanley decided to
or,
go to
or
the meeting
or
room.
the door I
Perhaps
just
he had
tried it.
simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Come on. Come on.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of
Dad,
disbelief,
y'all need to tell
Stanley
me. I
decided
need to
go up to his
leave.
boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. But this door. It's like this.
The moment
Oh. Okay, now what? Now what do I do? I don't know what to do. I did that. Now what do I do? Very confused. Very confused. Bucket. Do I take bucket? What the hell? You are now leaving. Okay. Alright. I wonder if I could have took bucket. I apologize, Braggart. You apparently knew what you knew. What if this was a troll? What if this was a troll? It just goes up forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Oh. Escape pod launch bay. Oh. Run. 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 The escape pod. The escape pod. We can do this. I don't get no cool launch effect. That's it. That's it.
All of his co-workers were gone.
That's all that
What
happened.
did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That's all.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You should have gave me
Yet
like
there
a
was not a single
like a
person here
Team Rocket's
either.
blasting off
Feeling a
again.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided, oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Yeah, Blazing that's the last thing I'm going to try is bring the bucket, and then I'm done. What if I brought the bucket in here? Okay, now what? That's it? That's it? That's all?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Damn it. Game.
Stepping...
Man, whoever discovered that, like, you're ridiculous. Someone had to literally do that without knowing. Guaranteed there's going to be some secrets that I missed out on, but I did as much as I possibly could. As much. We're taking this damn bucket.
Stanley's bucket, the only co-worker he would ever truly need.
Beautiful bucket. My bucket. You're coming with me, bucket. I'm pretty sure nothing's going to happen, but we're finally going to, oh, this is the way Bucket escapes. Bucket wasn't able to escape any other way, really. He was able to glitch out of the map. Run, Bucket, run. Run, Bucket, Bucket, Bucket. Last thing I could think of is bring the bucket into the closet, and then I'm done. Then I have to go. It has to be the end of the videos, end of the series on YouTube. This was a fun game. I've enjoyed it. Bucket, look, it's a escape pod. What? What? Yo, Braggart, you haven't seen this? Goodbye, Bucket. Don't cry, Bucket. Don't cry. This is your escape, Bucket. You can leave, Bucket. Don't say a word. Just go out there and tell everybody about me. I love you. You are my friend, Bucket. You're the best Bucket a human can have. There's no room for me, Bucket. There's only room for you. That was actually awesome. That
All
was
his
cool.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
That was a glorious
Stanley
way.
decided to go
Oh
to the meeting
no!
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket is actually gone. Wow. All right, I was gonna take Bucket into the closet, but that's officially it. I have did everything that I possibly could do in this game. If I missed anything, then that's your jobs to find it yourselves. But I did everything that Delirious could possibly do. I gotta go. I gotta get upstairs, watch the babies. If this is the end of a series on YouTube, please drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section what games I should play next, like God of War, you know, something like that. Anything like that. Oh, this is an awesome game. Loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. So random. Never knew what was going to happen. So many twists and turns. Somebody's playing solitaire right now. Am I going to be walking by the window anytime soon? Anyways. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for the support. I got to raid somebody. I got to get the hell out of here. I got to get upstairs. I'm going to raid Terrorizer. There we go. Y'all go say hello to Terrorizer. He's playing Legend of Zelda, which is a game I haven't played. Peace out, everybody. Goodbye. Also, Dank Halo, thank you for the gifted 10 right there and the gifted 5. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody else that was here. Thank you all so much.
I'm so proud to be a part of this great big family. You're never gonna take this away from me. I'm in the Delirious Army. I'm so proud to be a part of this great big family. You're never gonna take this away.